and you obviously don't have the budget to buy a TX, but which TX is more comfortable than a Pajero? This Pajero GDI. Now, Pajero, okay, let's say Mitsubishi in general, even if you found the foundation RVR, even if you found the small GDIs that I discourage you guys from buying, they'll basically have more comfort than their equivalent in any other brand. They'll have more comfort than the Mercedes-Benz. They'll have more comfort. Now, the Mercedes-Benz thing is in the mind. I'm telling you, it's in the mind. Mercedes-Benz has never been more comfortable than the Pajero. And I've driven both.
Welcome to the road where rubber meets the soul. For the love of cars, Uganda. On the streets, the story's right. All the new, they shine with pride. Toyota, Nissan, Benz, or Mazda, we break it down, no propaganda.
So if you're looking for comfort and obviously don't have the budget to buy a TX, but which TX is more comfortable than a Pajero? This Pajero GDI. Now, Pajero, okay, let's say Mitsubishi in general, even if you found the foundation RVR, even if you found the small GDIs that I discourage you guys from buying, they'll basically have more comfort than their equivalent in any other brand. They'll have more comfort than the Mercedes-Benz. They'll have more comfort. Now, the Mercedes-Benz thing is in the mind. I'm telling you, it's in the mind. Mercedes-Benz has never been more comfortable than a Pajero. And I've driven both. It's in the mind. Also, the thing with branding. But Pajero is actually comfortable without having mind games, without branding or something. So Pajero, the Mitsubishi company makes very comfy cars, yeah, without the effort. I drove the TXL 2020. This thing is more comfortable. Even the mere sitting in it. First thing that it has is the material in which they make their seats. This is different from what Toyota does. I think Toyota is literally always trying to save. Toyota, they specialize that in saving. With whatever thing they are doing, now it's higher than the Volvo XC90, as you can see, and it's almost the height of the Isuzu Elf, as you can see. Almost, like, now the suspension is a little higher, but this car not only gives you the comfort, but it gives you the height at the budget, with a small budget. For you to get this height, you'd have to get a TX, but the TX is not as comfortable. Feel this. Yes, the TXs are comfortable, but this is different. This is something else, and it gives you power. Now, hey, kunywa mafuta. The owner told me emoroka tekusikako. So, but I'm trying to make sure that we get clean fuel, yeah. Kunywa mafuta mali. So I'm driving it na yakafufu. I am sure tekola esiminzo kusako esinenzi temoroka y'abaana kandabe. Katulabo bekola. The thing I know about these cars is that because normally you don't get the heat that comes from outside, yeah? You don't get the heat that comes from outside. Where is the AC button? Because you don't get the heat that comes from outside. In Morocco, the one thing that's unique about it is that never got the wind that we wano or and that makes it special. That makes it a special car. And tunyewa mafuta maiguno gumoroka bugusika sigwe gumoroka gwe the AC taisam indako badde sinyize ka pesa. Let's see obe isam. Let's see niwe be isamu ebe bikola and you feel for its age. Now, this was produced between the 1990s and early 2000s. This particular model, the chassis, it was produced between the 1990s and 2000s. So it's an old car, but it gives, the thing about this car is that it gives more performance than your average EFI or VVTi cars. This has direct injection as fuel. It has very good handling when you're moving. It doesn't matter which road you move, but it has very good acceleration. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3, go.
From dusty roads to dreams we patrol.
I am seated on one of the most affordable SUVs ever. If you're looking to buy an SUV but you don't have a lot of money, this is what is known as the Pajero Bitama, my people. But this is what they call the Pajero Bitama, and this is the Exceed version. This is a 3.5 liter V6. V6, and it gives you a lot of power. It gives you a lot of luxury. This is luxury on a budget. Of all the SUVs in its category, this is the cheapest. For example, this you would get at around 15 to 17 million shillings. But tell me, is there any other SUV that looks as good as this that you can get at 15 to 17 million? Hello! That's the magic with Pajeros. They are cheap to buy, expensive to maintain, very luxurious on the road. In I can tell you that when you sit, you even have side steps. You sit here like a rich person, stand here like a rich person, and then you sit here. So when you sit here on this car like this, I can tell you that Ojoga contract Yozefuna, and then it has a row of power. When you start it like this, it has the row of power. It has the row of power. Omanye moroka bwezi wegira nesirikira mukuboti ugambe efudde tefudde kati soko ntereko wali ku exhaust sokemba lipa. That's power. This is not only giving you the V6 power, the 3.5 liter, but it also gives you technology that came way after EFI. This is the gasoline direct injection technology, GDI. The GDI is resistant because when they made the GDI cars, there were some extra parts. They gave it something that is called a pressure switch or a pressure pump. They also gave it what they call the nozzle control. Now, those two parts are an addition to this particular car that makes the GDI technology. Now, what happens with the GDI technology? Emoroka yafe ya bulijjo EFI ereta amafuta nega mixing mu intake, in the intake manifold. It mixes the air and the fuel, and then the fuel through the nozzles goes to the combustion chamber wali piston nebyocha. Now that leads to a little bit of inefficiency because after Ganovaga mixing and MPO, one of them might get more. That's why we get a lot of these issues. Gatukanike moroka zafe, mixture too lean, mixture too rich, and stuff like that. When a moroka, after gagenda direct combustion chamber, but gave the guy tamuchi pressure switch chiri, or pressure pump, ne gagenda gasanga ye MPO. Wali ku piston MPO eba engine eba yamize MPO amafta ngayisangayo. What they are telling us is that in the end this car is going to give you better fuel economy because amafuta gali precise. ECU wa computer era yegapima neteekayo amafuta agakolaki agamala n'empewo emala ekitali kumorogeza EFI. They tell us this gives you better fuel economy, and indeed in the smaller GDIs buli obutono bwembagana the fuel economy is very friendly. However, the repairs are expensive. Why do we get expensive repairs? Because abantu abayina emmoroka ebiseera ebisinga naddala obutono tebalina ssente zigula amafuta malungi, basevinga nusu abiri, ayagala nnyo amafuta agarayisa asevinga essente, amafuta ago ne goonoona. Because it's an improvement in technology, it means it's more delicate. It needs very clean fuel. Naye amafuta tubiveeko technology banamubanyonnyola. Omuntu atula emabega mu mmoroka eno abeera very comfortable because of the legroom, the headroom that is very satisfactory. Ate ne mmoroka ogiraba ekuwa ne AC wano, abantu b'emabega babeera ne AC. Neeno mu buutu ate nga nayo mu buutu wabaayo buutu enneme okugula naye girabe. Plenty of boot space and very good abaani abadde anywa amazzi ga layisi oyo sinze. But it gives you a lot of edda ba minister batambuliranga mu Pajeros. If you guys remember, a company organization like Bank of Uganda used to drive Pajeros, the ministers, but judges, actually even up to now, but judges abamu bakyavuga bi Pajero bino bakyabigura mu zero mileage. These things are very comfortable both at the front and the rear, and they give you, okay, I don't think I like the seats behind. Emito gye mabega gino sijagadde how they feel. Omuto gwe mabega guno. See, I can actually take it a little bit behind by just pulling this. I can even make it sleep for you guys that have bad manners. But that's for you guys that have abatali barokole enganzi. Me, I'm born again.
Helping every driver in the town. For the love, for the love, for the love of cause Uganda.
When you come here, it has a control room that is close to what you would call an aeroplane. You have a lot of controls here and a lot of controls here, and it has a lot of storage space here, storage space down here. And well, I would want to say it's basic, but it gives you a lot of space. Now, why are these Pajeros not so popular? Let me show you. Kaliwa. Let me show you why these things are not too popular. It has a lot to do with how much fuel you use when you drive this thing. This is what they call the 6G74 engine. Yes, the GDI technology saves you fuel, but it doesn't. Okay, theoretically it saves you fuel, but you can't drive a 3000cc vehicle and expect it to save like it's a 2 liter. So still agenda sigare kunywa. Which is why if you get a car like this at 17, you'll be getting a 2.5 liter TX at 25.
For the love, for the love, for the love of cause Uganda.
They say it gives you a lot of, it gives you fuel efficiency, fuel economy. It doesn't. It's a 3.5 liter vehicle. That's why it's not very popular. Ere moroka zina abantu abasinga okuzivugidda. Bazivuganga ng'amafuta si bagagula. Akola mu NG onga UN ekimuwa kaadi y'amafuta. Akolera Ministry of Works ne bamuwa kaadi y'amafuta. Era bwe baavangayo zino ne bazisulawo ne bagula hard body ne bagula Hilux. I know you guys remember very well. It gives you luxury. But who is the kind of person that should be driving this car? If you are the kind of person obeera nti ndokolera bukoto kino kivuga onya mafuta mayonjo go petrol stations etumanyi zina mafuta amayonjo gwe kind of vuga bano basekatawa abanywa ag'obudomola weesikidde wakwata akadomola najja n'ayiwamu ne bwasanga ndi abawe energy ezanywawo ne bwasanga kafumbe power anywawo abo zine moroka tebazisobola egenda kufa ki pressure switch oba ki pressure pump bakusabe $2,000,000. That's why most of them are in the garage. It doesn't have to do with the engines don't die. No. The gearboxes don't die. No. Fuel system yesungwe morokazi. And because zinywa, you will want to save. Obagwani ojagenda utandikola banga nusu abiri nyingi oyagala okusaving. Emoroka ekulema. Kati nze engeri gye bampadde ovugamu. Kanevugemu. You can also join me. Nongobera naye n'owoomerwamu. There are cars I will never buy. There are cars I won't dream even about buying. A car that is a 3.5 liter vehicle. Okujjako nga bampadde ekirimu ne bampirako kaadi y'amafuta. Awo mba ngenda kweyagala kuba buli moroka mbanja jjivu. Naye era abantu abamu mu gavumenti abo mulaba abavuga moroka zino. Olumba zireka ku weekend ne bagenda ku petrol station ne exchanging ne bateekamu kaadi olina agabala amafuta n'amuddizayo ka balance. Ku trick tumumanyi. Naye nze kaneevugemuko omulundi ogusembayo nga sinagiddiza nnyiniyo. Feel the rope. So it's definitely evugira mu two wheel kati I'm not going to even attempt putting it in 4-wheel because nzo kwagala ogisa mu 4-wheel emotoka neefa bufi. Emotoka zino ezisinga ennene bweziti ezibagira mu 4-wheel. 4-wheel bwefa nga bagijjako nga bagireka ku 2-wheel nga nyini yanyumira. Hey, I think I look good in this car. Nze ndowooza naali Jose senga gye nali nvuga. Naali Jose mwali badde temummanyira nakummanyira nti nvuga omotoka obutiddi abaagala okummanyira. But anyway, I love the experience of driving this car. Although I'm just driving it for like the next 10 minutes and taking it back to the owner. So I'll see you next time. Ciao. This is not your usual car show. Forget the fast, flashy cars and fancy brands. Welcome to the Love for Cars Convention, where it's all about real people, real cars, and real stories. Here, we focus on what really matters: learning, sharing, and having fun with fellow car lovers. Meet some of Uganda's best mechanics and technicians. They'll explain common car problems and show you how to solve them. Got car questions? Ask it live. From maintenance to modifications. Join important talks about how car rules, laws, and policies affect us as drivers and car owners. Watch a live review of the Toyota engine and see the car start up again. It's proof that old cars can shine again. You don't need to be a racer. Just love cars and enjoy the challenge. Fun games and car contests. Test your car knowledge and win prizes. We are launching the Love of Cars magazine and the must-have My Car Diary, a special book to help you manage and record everything about your car. There is good food, cold drinks, and good music at our bites and beach zones. Let us honor the community legends, mechanics, teachers, content creators, and car lovers like you who have made a big difference. The project car will be on sale and final bid at the convention. Yes, so you're interested in seeing, in buying, in experiencing. So who should attend the Love for Cars convention? Anyone who loves cars. Anyone planning to buy their first car. Anyone with car problems or questions. Anyone that is looking for a reliable, good mechanic or spare parts dealer. And anyone who wants to learn, meet others, and have fun. The Love for Cars convention is not about showing off. It's about learning, sharing, and loving cars your own way. Tickets will not be sold at the entrance. You can only buy it between today and 23rd August. To buy your ticket, call the number 0760 045 116.
For the love of cars, Uganda.